Tiffany was scene where you confront Apollo and say, "Stop fracking my wife"?
Yes. One word answer. Yes. Yeah. I just thought we were gonna have an out, knock down, drag out, brawl. We didn't box. We didn't fight. We had a tiff. A small argument while we were on the algae planet. But yeah, that's one thing. If you can say there's regrets, I have no regrets in the show. But I would have loved to see some sort of confrontation.
I think he was sending you on a suicide mission so you could take your life.
Yeah.
Next question.
Hi, Booger. Candace and Michael said this in a panel 2 days ago. You brought it up again, the fact that Dee and Anders really should have gone behind Kara and Apollo's back when they were messing around. And I wanted to know, for the rest of you, is there anything that you think your character should have done that they didn't get a chance to do on the show?
I should have gotten drunk. You should have gotten drunk with me. Wait. I should have gotten drunk with Mother and Father Cylon. Or with Tom Zarek.
I definitely should have let her steal the election.
I should have gotten drunk with Adama.
Which one?
There is nothing I should have done that I didn't do.
I should have thrown Enzo out of the fracking airlock.
This side.
Hi. My question is for Kate Vernon and Michael Hogan. And that is, Ellen and Saul have a very, very dysfunctional relationship, and yet there's this real enduring love. I mean, they survived death and remain in love with each other. So what is it that keeps the two of you together?
Patience on Saul's part. Patience and understanding on Saul's part. Actually, I'll answer this, Kate. You can.
Oh man. Let's not get too serious. You know, I just think it's one of those relationships that endures the test of time. How long we've been together? 2,000 years. It's the longest relationship in space. Our marriage survived even without counseling. You know, we tended to just sort of work out our problems eventually in creative ways. Very creative. you know, we're an irascible couple. We can't live without each other. We couldn't live without each other. We couldn't live really with each other. But the other option, you know, I don't know. These two people are just meant to be together. Give good and bad, give or take whatever happens. They fit. And they belong together. And I was so happy to have come back and for the both of us to survive, because nobody knew who was actually going to get to walk in the final episode on that planet. Nobody knew who was going to actually take that walk into their new life together. And I thought it was a very poetic move on the writer's part to allow for Ellen and Saul one more time to survive against all odds and be together in this, you know, ancient couple, walking hand in hand towards a new life. And I think we're just meant to be together forever. And what romance he's got working on.
I'm not saying it.
I'm doing better right now than I was yesterday, aren't I? Thank you.
This side?
be a mood killer after that lovely romantic question, but for Mary, what?
All right, the downers here, what is it?
What, if anything, do you think happened to Laura while she was in detention on Africa, and did she ever tell Bill about her time spent there?
I think she had to a certain extent, she was protected. I don't think a lot happened to her that unfortunately happened to other people because oddly enough, because of Gaius Baltar and that very complicated relationship we had. So my feeling was that she spent a lot of time isolated and it was very difficult. She didn't go through anything yearly, for example, what Salatai did and many of the other characters, because Gaius had a kind of funny thing for her, you know, a kind of love-hate, competitive, non-competitive need, everything. So I think he just let her sit there. So I don't think that there was anything personally too traumatic for her. And so I didn't share much with Bill at all about any of it, except for what happened to the people. I don't think she's not the type of person to talk about herself a lot to anyone. I mean, perhaps if she had a little bit longer marriage, or if she was still alive during her marriage, she could have developed into a more intimate human, but it didn't work out. So no, I don't think anything, I think it was really about the people. They really went through it. She just had a few lonely moments.
Richard, I asked this question of Alessandro on Friday, so I will ask you today. Tom Zarek, hero or villain?
You really don't want to ask me that question. Because I could probably talk for hours and have talked for hours on that question. But I will say this. I never played him as a villain. And I think the hardest thing in the whole world, and you know, we were talking about this a little bit. You said that your character helped you expand your vision as a human being, as a person. And I've always been the guy that took care of everybody, wanted to fix everybody, always do the right thing. And I realized watching what happens in politics today that, you know, tough love decisions are the hardest thing for everybody. And I think if politicians actually do tough love decisions, they're probably not going to get reelected. If you actually do the right thing, that's really going to cause pain, but it's going to wake people up and it's going to make for real change and ultimately lead to a better day. And if someone makes those decisions, the vast majority of us will not embrace that person. So I have to be honest with you, I actually think, excuse me, I lost my voice yesterday. So many so say we all. We haven't done one of those. So say we all. So say we all. Feel better. Anyway, I just for me, Tom Zarek made me look at politics, the realities aboard that fleet. It expanded my vision from where I used to be. Politically, and it made me really realize that how easy democracy can be lost and how good people can do bad things for good reasons. And it also made me realize that, you know, when you challenge governments, when you realize that no matter, you know, who's in power, whether Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, doesn't matter, that anybody, when we, the human beings, turn over our power on some kind of post-9/11 type scenario situation, out of fear, you know, we want to support that government regardless of what they do. And it takes a lot of courage to stand up and challenge that government. And I honestly felt, you know, Tom had every reason to distrust this government that rigged elections, took away the presidency twice. He got judged for going and being a terrorist, and then everybody went down to New Africa and became human bombs. And terrorists probably far more than Tom Zarek ever was. So my thought was, you know, I thought he was a hero, and I played him not as a hero, but as a man that was doing the right thing and challenging this government that had no respect
for democracy, not because they didn't want to do the right thing, but because they had lost respect for the representatives, and they felt that they had a better way, knew the right answer, and they were willing to put anybody in prison who didn't agree with them.
Right.
And so on, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he was a villain.